back to The Brilliant View. I'm Marina.
I'm Kim.
I'm Doreen.
And I'm Christy.
And Christy is joining us today for the first time, so everyone, let's welcome Christy. Christy, tell us a little bit about yourself and your experience with crafting.
Well, I work here at Brilliant Vinyl on the customer service team, and I started putting vinyl on t-shirts about 5 years ago. We just bought a heat press and a cutter, and I knew nothing about it. So I got the US cutter, the Laser Point 2, and I have the Scal Pro 3 software. Love it. And basically learned every single thing off YouTube because I knew nothing.
All right, well, that's awesome that we now have a new machine to add to our group. So let's talk about stretch, baby.
Let's talk about
You and me.
Whoa, is that a song?
Yes, we'll fill you in later. But Easyweed Stretch is such a fantastic product, and it's great to work with if you know how to use it.
Yes, I get a lot of questions on the Easyweed Stretch from our customers, and it's just, I think the biggest thing is how to know the difference between Easyweed Stretch and the normal regular Easyweed.
So the easiest way for me to tell the difference between regular Easyweed and Easyweed Stretch is that Easyweed Stretch is a thinner material, and you can tell that immediately when you touch it. Also, the Easyweed Stretch, if you take a look at it, the stretch is in an ultra matte finish, whereas the regular is kind of in a semi-gloss finish. And a lot of people who use the stretch for like performance wear materials, they love that ultra matte finish. Also, the Easyweed Stretch comes in some specialty colors, and you won't see these in the regular Easyweed. So these are just like the purple berry and the ballerina pink. That only comes in the Easyweed Stretch.
So if I'm in my craft room and I'm using the Easyweed Stretch, I have black. I have black with the regular, and then I have. How do I know the difference between the two? Because looking at them straight away, it looks the same.
One of the easiest ways I like to tell the difference when it's laid on the table together, both of them are black to look at, but if you flip them over, regular Easyweed has a navy blue finish on the back side, whereas Stretch does not. And it's a little more floppy than regular Easyweed also. That's how I like to tell the difference.
There is another way to tell the difference. If you put the Easyweed like just on the edge of the table, and then you put the Stretch on the edge of the table, the Stretch will always fall off.
Oh, do that again.
So I can look at the color, or I can just start throwing Easyweed off my table.
Easyweed Stretch.
Easyweed Stretch.
The Stretch is falling.
Yes.
And then the most important difference, of course, is that Easyweed Stretch stretches. So you can definitely see.
Right, even here in the Stretch, the regular Easyweed's beginning to pucker and show little ripples and things, and the Easyweed Stretch will not do that. Yeah, it stretches with the fabric.
When I use the Easyweed Stretch, I have a Cricut, as we all know. And I use the standard blade on mine with the normal pressure settings, and then I turn my dial to iron on. I'm assuming that for different cutting machines, it's different settings.
Yeah, I have the Silhouette, and they come standard with a drop-down menu for all the different vinyls we sell. Actually, there's one for heat transfer smooth is the one I would use for Stretch. But in that drop-down menu, you'll have the whole wide variety of them, and I've never had any trouble cutting it with that setting.
Mine, I've figured out the best thing for my cutter is to use I can either use the 45-degree blade or the 60-degree blade. 60-degree blade is going to work better for me and my cutter, and I bump up the pressure to maybe 170, 180. What I have found is that because it is stretch material, when your blade goes in, if you don't have enough pressure, it's just going to go in, it's going to pull and stretch the vinyl, and then it's going to release, and then it'll grab again, and then it releases and it grabs again because it's not a constant deep pressure. And then I end up having a perforated line. Then I have to go back with my X-Acto knife and do a whole bunch of extra work. So just bump up the pressure on the blade as well.
And the thing that I find about with my machine, and remember I have the Siser Eclipse,
I thought say it one more time.
the Siser Eclipse is that I don't have to change my pressure, I don't have to change the depth of my blade or anything like that. It cuts the same whether it's stretch or regular Easyweed, so I guess it just depends on your machine, right?
Yeah, it does, but I still recommend a test cut. If you're unsure, if you're changing from one type of vinyl to another type, always do a little test cut. And what I like to do is I will type an X on my software, drag it to the top corner of my software mat, put a box around it, send it to the cutter. If my cutter machine cuts it and I can pull that box away, leaving the X on the tip, then I know my whole design's gonna cut just fine. And you know, vinyl's too expensive to waste to send something without knowing it's gonna work every time you send it. So yeah, I recommend the test cut.
Okay, here's my other question. So with the Easyweed stretch, I've used it, but I've only applied it to t-shirts, as I would normal Easyweed. Can I use it on other items as well, and it would work just as well, or am I just limited to just stretchy t-shirts?
No, I think you can use this type of vinyl on the same materials that you'd use regular Easyweed on. The thing that's great about the Easyweed stretch though is that it does work so well on fitted materials. So especially for ladies' shirts, you know, if you have a design that goes across the top, with your stretch, the design is going to stretch and give a little bit with your shirt, as opposed to using the regular Easyweed, and your design might get a little bit more distorted. So that's what I really appreciate about the stretch, is that my design looks just like I want it to look even on a fitted shirt.
Yes, so what I have found out the hard way is that 100% polyester, you have to be aware of that there can be a coating called antimicrobial coating. When I bought jerseys, it had this coating on there. I didn't know about it, so I pressed all the jerseys for our church ball team, and as they're running bases, the numbers on the back are coming off. And I'm like, who did these jerseys? That is a bad job. So afterwards, as I walk up to my husband, I'm peeling off his number. So we have been there, we've done that. If it has the coating on it, so how you figure out if it has the coating, you just get some water on your hand, drop some drops of water on the material. If the drops stay on the material, it has the coating. If it just absorbs straight in like it will with 100% cotton, that doesn't have the coating. So just, if it has the coating on your shirts, just wash your shirt, detergent only, no fabric softener, and then you can press the shirt and you're good to go.
Oh, so your husband wasn't number one anymore, because it fell right off. It went to 0. So with temperature, the Siser website as well as our website, we show that it's 305 for 15 seconds. I have done that initially when I was started with the Easyweed stretch. However, I've changed the machines, I've done it at other places, and I find that I have to tweak that from time to time. And so is it like a faulty vinyl, or is it just machines are different? Is there like a rule of thumb for heat?
I use, because mine is a dial, I don't have a digital, I'm kind of guessing exactly where it is anyway. I'm gonna err on like 315, 320, just so I know that I've made the 300 mark, because mine goes 300 to 350, so I'm somewhere in there. And then I'll press mine for 19 seconds. I don't know why I chose 19, but it's 19. And then after 19 seconds, I take off the carrier sheet and then press it for 5 more seconds or so.
Right, and my heat press, I always keep it at 310, and I press everything for 15 seconds. That's just something I default to, unless it's a type of vinyl that requires a low temperature setting, which is not as common.
Can you burn vinyl? Can I make it where it's too hot? Can I burn it?
You actually can if you have your heat press too hot, or if you press it too many times in a row. What happens is the glue on the vinyl will ooze out the side of each letter, and you'll see a little shiny rim around the letters. If you're seeing that when you're heating your vinyl to a shirt, you've pressed it so hard you have literally squished all the glue out, and that vinyl's not going to stick when you wash it. It's going to fall off your shirt too, because there's no glue left.
Wow, I didn't know that either.
So let's talk about the most important thing when it comes to applying Easyweed stretch.
Pressure.
pressure is important, and because of it, I would not recommend using an iron or the Cricut Easy Press with Siser Easyweed Stretch. What happens is when you use an iron or the Easy Press, you are physically the heat machine. You're the pressure. And so if you're gonna do 20 jerseys for a team, your first shirt's gonna press great. You got strength or whatever, you know. But by the time you get to that 20th shirt, you're tired. Your arms have give out, and you're not gonna have the same amount of pressure on that shirt as you are the first shirt, which might cause a problem, which might, you know, the vinyl can fall off. What I find I do is, if I have to use an iron, I ask my husband to help me, or I ask my teenage boys to help me, because they have more pressure than I do.
And we actually did have a customer that came in yesterday, and Christy assisted her, and her issue was that her letters were peeling up, and she was wondering what the problem with the stretch was, but it was actually because she was using the Cricut Easy Press, and so she just wasn't getting enough pressure, right?
Also, what I found is with like the Easy Press or the iron, you have to press on hard countertop or a piece of flat wood, not on an ironing board. There's too much give there. You have to do it on something solid and hard.
So how does someone know if they're applying enough pressure? Pressure is that important?
So I do have a little test. Another little test that you could do. You just get a dollar bill and put it in your heat press, and I can show you that right now. Here's a simple test that you can do at home to check to see what type of pressure you have on your heat press. So just take a dollar bill, lay it halfway off, close your heat press, pull it out. If it comes out very easily, then that is a light press. Put it back on there, tighten your heat press up just a little bit. That still came out easy, so we're still at a light press. If it doesn't come out at all, that means that's a hard press or a firm press. If you're trying to get to a medium press, you want it to have tension, but it still comes out. That would be your medium press. Okay, so we're going to press the Easyweed Stretch, and we're going to show you what could happen if you did it with a light press and not the firm press that you should be using. Oh. Okay, so it looks like you've pressed it perfectly, but if you take it off and then you go to stretch it, you'll see that some parts start lifting up. That shouldn't happen. So what you're going to do is if you catch it immediately, you can just lay it right back down. And I would advise putting the carrier sheet back on just so that you can really lay down the spots that came up. Then it'll press the right way.
Can I use a Teflon sheet if I threw that away already?
Yes. So, and if you don't lay this perfectly over the vinyl, you're going to want to use a Teflon sheet so that it doesn't stick to the top platen. So now we're going to press it. You're going to crank up your pressure. If you want to do it the right way. Come on. That's a firm press. Okay, so now we're going to check it out. And so what you can do, you're going to do the little stretch test again. You'll see that everything is adhered correctly. And if it is adhered correctly, you should be able to see the fibers of your material impressed in the vinyl. Also, this SVG is a free SVG on our website. And there you go.
We hope that this video helped you, and we hope that you got something out of this video. If you like our videos, be sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Remember, if you all want to see some beginner tutorials, we have the Brilliant Bros putting out tutorial videos, and we hope to add a lot more videos to our repertoire. So join our Facebook group, follow us on Instagram, and always remember, don't be ordinary,
Be brilliant.